Newsmax became kind of a ratings juggernaut in November when Donald Trump favored that outlet over his former favorite network, that would be Fox News. Newsmax even toppled Fox from its almost 25-year standing at number one, although briefly. But now CNN reports that Newsmax's ratings are back down in the tank. Nielsen indicates the network only has an eighth of the viewers that Fox News has now on a good day, cutting their viewership in half over the last few months.
Back to discuss, Democratic strategist Andrew Feldman and co-host of the Real Night podcast, Marshall Kosloff. Marshall, a lot has been made of the drop in ratings for CNN and for MSNBC, but not enough has been made of the fact that, yes, while Fox may be okay, they're still dramatically down from where they were. And more importantly, the more pro-Trump, especially people willing to flirt with stop the steal, etc. people are dramatically down in the Biden era. What do you think this just tells us about conservative media in the Biden age?
Yeah, it's a fascinating story that has two different angles to it. So one angle is news is dissed down for absolutely everyone. Politics is less compelling, especially with the hopefully positive summer we have going on after the election, all that stuff. This always happens. This isn't even really about CNN or Fox, or that's just the normal story. What's unique about the Newsmax angle, though, is it's a result of the very bold strategy they took. Look, like Newsmax is a second, third-tier network. No offense, but the talent isn't as good as Fox. The cameras aren't as good as Fox. Basically everything is not as good as Fox. So what do you do if you're an upstart station seeking to actually win those numbers games late in the Trump presidency? You focus on editorial. You focus on what you are going to say, what you are going to do, and how you're going to prevent yourself so that you can attract an audience that isn't being served by Fox. And that was going all in on Stop the Steal, much to their almost complete legal detriment. That's going all in on being Trumpier than Trumpier than Trumpier.
Right.
And when Trump leaves the White House and then is relatively quiet at Mar-a-Lago, you lose a lot of what your rationale is. And then B, at the end of the day, you go too far and you can no longer deliver for people, especially in the context after January. So the broader problem they're just going to have is that what Fox News has gotten back to, which is what it's just good at, is frankly like Biden criticism and culture war stuff. Like that's not an attack on that. Like MSNBC, CNN obviously do the same thing when there's a Republican administration. But if I'm going to look for that type of content, I would easily choose Fox News over Newsmax for that.
Right.
Yeah. I think, Andrew, in a way, the common thread with Newsmax falling off a cliff, CNN falling off a cliff, MSNBC also seeing significant declines, Fox News seeing significant declines, is that partisan cheerleading media is extraordinarily limiting. It's like has these peaks where, the evil guys in the White House and we're cheering for our team, but then there's these dramatic valleys when that partisan narrative is no longer as interesting. So at the same time that you have most media and most political media seeing massive numbers drops, and that includes, political news websites, frankly, Rising hasn't really seen a significant drop post-election.
One of our highest rated days 2 days ago.
A lot. Yeah. That's right. A lot of, you see independent substackers who are doing extraordinarily well. So people who have less of a just sort of like partisan cheerleading at the center of their business model are able to perform, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican or Trump or Biden or Obama or whoever, in the White House. So, I think it just really, Andrew, shows kind of the limitation of this partisan type media.
I don't disagree with that, Crystal, and I think people are really tired. I think that they're tired of the bickering back and forth. They're tired of the extreme rhetoric, and they just kind of want to, take a break. I mean, I talk to, when I get out of the bubble and I talk to people who don't deal with politics day in and day out, I mean, they're just really exhausted. And I think that is now what we're seeing be reflected in the media, and I think also people watched a lot of TV and different channels and things that they wouldn't normally watch all the time, like Newsmax, during a year of coronavirus. Now people are breaking out. It's interesting how little TV my wife and I actually watch anymore. It is just exhausting, and I think that's the way to sum it up here. And I think we, more outside of the box thinking and less partisan rhetoric is going to be needed. But I got to agree with Marshall. The production value and the host value of Newsmax is just brutal. And I think that causes one of their biggest issues. Look, Sean Spicer, no offense to him, but he has not been the biggest media star, recently.
Oh God, does he have a Newsmax show?
Oh yeah, he actually asked for you to come on. I didn't even bother. I didn't even bother
That is so
carrying out
mean,
that
Sucker.
request.
You are rejecting an invitation on air.
Where's my
like,
agency
sorry,
and getting
man.
to decide for myself
Sorry.
whether I get to go on Sean Spicer's
I was just
show?
like, I'm pretty sure she
Yeah,
don't want to do it. So.
Hey, guys, that could increase the ratings.
Yeah, that's true.
Which one is Mark Halperin on now?
That's true. I forgot.
Is that
He's
also
had a
Newsmax?
renaissance. I think it's
That's
on
Newsmax.
Yeah,
That was
that's
so
Newsmax.
weird to
Sunday
me.
show.
Yeah. What you guys are telling me is you don't want to watch Greg Kelly insult Biden's dog. I mean, come on. All right. Okay, we've had enough fun here.
Best content we've seen.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Next on Rising, Dr. Trita Parsi discusses the Iran nuclear talks in Vienna. That's when Rising continues.